Football Student Athlete Media Teleconference. This is Ben Beatty from the SEC office, and I'll be today's moderator. We'll have 3 student athletes from both Georgia and Alabama on today's call. Each student athlete will answer questions for up to 10 minutes. Georgia will go first, followed by Alabama at 12:30 Central Time. Representing Georgia will be Jordan Davis, Stetson Bennett, and Nakobe Dean. Representing Alabama will be Bryce Young, Will Anderson, and Henry Toto. To ask a question, press 1-0, and to accommodate as many questions as possible, please ask no more than 2 questions when called upon. Remember to wait a couple of seconds after being called on to ask your question. This teleconference, as well as all SEC media teleconferences, will be replayed on the SEC's official website, secsports.com. We will begin today's call with Georgia's Jordan Davis. To ask a question, please press 1-0 on your telephone keypad. And Jordan, while we wait on questions, please give us your general thoughts on the upcoming game against Alabama.
What's up, y'all? It's Jordan Davis. Excited to play, excited to be here, and let's get this thing started.
Okay, to ask a question for Jordan Davis, press 1-0 on your telephone keypad. Any questions for Jordan Davis, press 1-0. Okay, first question is from Dean Legge of Dog Post.
Hey, Jordan, I don't know how much you played in 2018 against Alabama. I know you played a lot in 20. What challenges does their offensive line bring with the style they play as well as the quarterback they've got?
Well, Alabama's always been on physical toughness, and, they have a great offensive line. They have great size, great motor, and I just feel like it's a tremendous challenge to play against them. They're big, we're big. We're going to give it everything we got, and I hope they give us their best shot. They just had a great unit.
To ask a question for Jordan Davis, press 1-0. And next we will go to Olivia Decker of Westwood One.
Hey, Jordan, I'm curious how far y'all have gotten into the Iron Bowl tape and what opportunities you see there, or even the Alabama LSU tape. Both games, they really struggled to put up points.
They have a high explosive offense. They definitely had a key wide receiver out and everything, but you just have to be ready to game plan and scheme because they have great athletes around the board. QB can throw. The offensive line can protect. We just have to make sure that we scheme and we just rush to the best of our ability up front and cover to the best of our ability in the back end.
Thank you.
Taking questions for Georgia's Jordan Davis. If you have a question, press 1-0. Next, we will go to Joey Blackwell of Bama Central.
Hey, Jordan. I know he's a defensive player, but Will Anderson Jr., you being a defensive guy yourself, what have you seen from him this year and what all he's accomplished?
Will Anderson's a great player. He's a game wrecker. Watching his film and just seeing him, he's explosive. And he's definitely one of those guys you have to make sure that you contain. And, it's great to see him play, but we just have to make sure that we game plan for him and make sure that we protect well up front on the offensive side and give Stetson some time to throw.
Next question is from David Pascal of the Chattanooga Times Free Press.
Hey, Jordan, I remember after the Vanderbilt game, you told the SEC Network that you were only in for 9 snaps. What's the highest number of snaps you've played this season? Do you know?
It was around the 50s, 52, 50 something. That was the highest.
Okay. Okay. Do you remember what game that was, or?
I believe it was Tennessee.
Okay. And I was just wondering how, obviously in a game like this, you could be needed for a lot more. I was just wondering how, are you kind of eager to have a game where you play a ton of snaps? Because I know there have been several games where you probably haven't played as much as you wanted to.
Definitely. It doesn't matter who we play. I'm just glad to be on the field and show my best. If they need me for 100 snaps, I'll give them my best effort for 100 snaps. It doesn't matter, whatever my name is called on, I just want to be there.
Thank you.
Taking questions for Jordan Davis. Next, we'll go to Dean Legge.
Hey, Jordan, Nick Saban yesterday called you one of the most dominant players in college football. I wonder, in your time watching college football, how would you describe Nick Saban?
I mean, he's a great coach. Growing up, you see him winning championships when he was at, Alabama and, doing a great job at LSU and everything. He's definitely one of those coaches that have high regard in the community and a lot of respect in the coaches wear him. So, if he comes, I'm honored, and he's just one of the, he's up there with one of the greats. So.
If we have any further questions for Jordan Davis, press 10. And that is all your questions, Jordan. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we will continue the call momentarily with Stetson Bennett. Okay, we are ready to continue with Stetson Bennett. If you have any questions for Stetson, press 10 on your telephone keypad now. And Stetson, while we wait on questions, please give us your general thoughts on the upcoming game against Alabama.
Yes, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Excitement. Excited for a challenge from a great and worthy opponent. Excited to see how our team will prepare this week. Excited for the bright lights that the SEC brings, and excited to compete for a championship, which is why you come to a school like Alabama and Georgia, and just ready to go.
Okay, if you have a question for Stetson, press 10 on your telephone keypad. And first, we'll go to David Pascal from the Chattanooga Times Free Press.
Hey, Stetson, if you go back to last year's game in Tuscaloosa, where do you think you've kind of grown and matured the most? What part of your game?
Just a more understanding of football and what a game takes to win. knowing that individual plays are hard to win a game, but they're very easily lost, and that's where most games, especially in college level, are won and lost is by losing them, not by individual plays winning them. And so not pressing and trusting everybody else on our team and defense and offense, and knowing that I don't have to go out there and, win the game on an individual play. It's okay to throw the ball away or run and get 2 or 3 yards, and just not to press.
And just out of curiosity, given what everybody's been through with COVID and just what a wild year it's been for Georgia at the quarterback position, does that game seem like it was a year and a month ago, or does it seem further than that? I was just curious if that seems like a long time ago for you, given everything y'all have been through.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it does seem like a long time. I wish I was smarter and could remember it better, but yeah, I mean, it was a long time ago, and everything that's happened between now and then has kind of amplified that distance, I guess. But yeah, I guess it does seem like a long time ago.
Thank you.
That's a question for Stetson Bennett. Press 10. Next, we'll go to Joseph Fison from the Rome News Tribune.
Hey, Stetson. Georgia and Alabama have shared 3 opponents this year. The outcomes of those games have been, vastly different on Georgia's side compared to Alabama. Is that something you guys look at when preparing for this game? And, how does Alabama stack up, do you feel, compared to those teams that you guys have shared common opponents with?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know who we've played besides the permanent. I don't know the scores of those games or anything like that. That doesn't really affect how we're going to prepare for the games. Football is such a crazy sport, and there's so many different aspects that go into an individual game that determine a score or anything like that. There's really has no basis for how a future game is going to go. Everybody in this league has great players, and especially in college ball, different teams come out this different weeks, not just us or Alabama, but the teams we've played, and so you don't put any relevance on those scores or anything like that, whatever they are, whether they've outscored them by more or we have, I don't know. But no, we have too much respect for who Alabama is this year as a team to allow ourselves to do that. And we're going to keep approaching this game like it was, like we have been every other game, and that's with the utmost respect for the opponent and to be able to execute our jobs to the best of our ability.
Thanks.
Next question is from Olivia Decker of Westwood One.
Stetson, we know you're so experienced just in college football in general and in this system with Kirby, but at the beginning of the season, we didn't think that you'd be starting the SEC championship game as the number 1 team in the country. If you could go back to week 1 versus Clemson, what would you tell yourself?
I don't even know. Well, if I could tell myself one thing, I'd tell myself that I'd be in this position. I think that would make me smile.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know. I think I did a good job of, focusing on, the fact that I can control the controllables and I can't control the uncontrollables. So I just tell myself to keep on keeping on. Other than that, I don't know. Maybe don't throw those 2 balls against Florida. I'd probably tell myself. But other than that, I don't really know.
what's most different for you kind of between the ears as you go into this game before the season started?
Going into this game versus what?
Versus when the season started. I mean, what's changed for you mentally?
Well, I mean, you want to say that you prepare every week, whether you're the starter or not, but, not really the case. I don't know. I'd say that, just the fact that I am the starting quarterback, and with that comes a different level of responsibility, different level of expectations, and just, being able to handle all those, knowing what's important, what's not cluttering your mind, and just, being prepared for a battle.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's a question for Stetson Bennett. Press 1-0. And we'll go to Dean Legge of Dog Post.
Hey Stetson, you and JT have traded been the starting quarterback over the last 20-something games, with one starting and then the other one starting, and then one starting and then another one starting. I think that's what trade means. But nonetheless, how has there not been any jealousy between the two of y'all in that time?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think it comes from just a confidence of both of ourselves that comes from within. Both of us know that we're both really good players, and I think a lot of resentment and all that stuff comes from jealousy, and obviously we both want to be the starting quarterback, but we also know that what's important is the team, and we know that if, regardless of who has been starting in the past or in the future or any of that stuff, if we flash those feelings or begin to try to undermine the other person, then first of all, it's not going to work, because we don't make those decisions. Second of all, it's going to negatively affect the team, and both of us understand that we're in this spot today, not because of us, but because of what the University of Georgia is, what the SEC is, what football in general is. And I think we have a respect and reverence for all of those things that allows us to see that it's bigger than us and ourselves. And when you look at it that way, you kind of have a lesser opinion of yourself and a lower importance that would maybe allow you to be jealous and to hate the other one or do snide things and all that stuff. So I think both of us have a pretty good understanding of that, I guess, in life in general.
And our final question for Stetson will be from Jake Roos of Dogs HQ.
Hey, Stetson. I just wanted to ask you, your story's been quite a journey, from coming out kind of a lower-ranked guy, not a lot of scholarship opportunities. You walk on to Georgia, you go to the JUCO route, end up transferring back with a scholarship, win the job. Then the off season happens. It looks like it's JT. It's you. I guess throughout this whole journey, what's been the coolest part for you? Has it been winning this job? Has it been winning the scholarship? Has it been overcoming people's perceptions of you? I mean, for you, I guess what's been kind of a standout moment?
There's a million ways to answer that, and there's a million different things that have been awesome. And I think I'm the luckiest guy in the world. But I think just the coolest thing, if you just break it down, is just being able to play football. I love the game. I love the sport. I love what it allows communities and people and all those things that it allows all of them to do, to come together, be a part of something bigger than themselves, teaches them about life, allows little kids from rec ball on to, be a part of a team, which is so important, I believe. Allows them to get tougher, allows them to see that there's ups and downs. And so, the coolest thing for me is, I come from a high school that, I think there's one other guy who went to play college ball, and he went and played D3 ball in Vermont. So, I've always expected to play ball because I've always had a, high confidence in my abilities. But when you start asking about, what's the coolest moment of this journey, maybe I'll have a different answer in 10 years whenever I'm looking back. But right now I'm focused on playing football, and I think I'm the luckiest guy in the world to be able to do that and to be able to do it at an institution that is as fine as the University of Georgia.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Stetson, thank you for your time. And we will continue the call momentarily with Georgia's Nakobe Dean. All right, we are ready to continue with Georgia's Nakobe Dean. If you have a question, please press 10 on your telephone keypad. And Nakobe, while we wait on questions, please give us your general thoughts on the upcoming game against Alabama.
General thoughts, what an opportunity. How blessed we are to be in this position to play this game, play the game that we love with each other. So, what an opportunity. I'm ready for questions now.
If you have a question for Nakobe Dean, press 10. The first question is from Dean Legge of Dog Post.
Hey, Nakobe, there's been a lot of discussion of Jordan Davis possibly getting an invitation to New York City for the Heisman Award. What would you say to folks who have the ability to get him there, the Heisman voters, about why he should be considered?
I say do it. I'm everything Jordan Davis. So you say why? Because he's one of the most dominant defensive players in the nation, and that's why. And I feel that truly in my heart.
If you have a question for Nakobe Dean, press 10. We'll go to Stuart Still of the Red and Black.
Hey, Nakobe, I just wanted to ask about how you feel heading into this matchup with such an explosive offense with Bryce Young and those receivers and Robinson out of the backfield.
Right. I feel excited. I'm excited for the opportunity to play such an explosive offense. The opportunity to have this type of matchup, to play this type of competition. They real talented. They got a real good offense, and their coach good also. So it's a great opportunity to play a game like this.
questions for Nakobe Dean, press 10. We'll go back to Dean Legge of Dog Post.
Kobe, I wanted to ask you about have you ever watched Kirby on film play, and how do you think he would, fit into y'all's defense in 2021?
I actually never seen Coach Smart, never seen him play. But how he fit, well, if he disciplined, he'll fit right in. He do his job, he disciplined. Just like he'll fit right in. He'll have to work for his spot, just like everybody else did. But he disciplined, he do his job, and he played with at an elite level like his hair on fire. And then he'll fit right in.
To ask a question for Nakobe Dean, press 10. We'll go to Olivia Decker of Westwood One.
Hey, Nakobe, I'm curious if you have a good Kirby Smart story from this season, something at practice that was moving or funny or something. I know he's so passionate with y'all.
A Coach Smart story. Man, from this season. I'm trying to find something funny and not nothing too off the wall.
No, off the wall is good too. I'll take anything.
Let's see. Man, I'm trying to think of something. It's like it's not like I don't have a story. It's like it's just so many that come to mind. It's like I can't even. Man. Well, I'll tell you a boring one because I'm drawing a blank for real. So one time Shootman had to go out and recruit, and if anybody know Coach Shoot, they know he in meetings last forever. So he had to go out and recruit. So we had to meet with Coach Smart, and the way Coach Smart and Coach Shoot run meetings is just completely different. And I know there's not much of a story, but if all the former players at UGA or who've been under Coach Smart and Coach Shoot know what I'm talking about.
Well, what do you mean completely different?
Okay, so Coach Smart does this thing where he talking fast, and then he'll ask you a question, and then he'll answer it right after he asks you, so he don't really give you a chance to answer it. And then Coach Shoot asks you a question, then he'll sit there until you answer it. So it'd be kind of like you'll be confused about what to say, and Coach Shoot just kind of asks like open questions, like anything could be the answer, can be the right answer, but he's looking for one specific answer. So they know what I'm talking about. They've been in the meeting.
I got one more quick one for you. I'm going to be on the sideline Saturday. Who is a player on the defensive side of the ball who is kind of coaching other players up and more of a rah-rah cheerleader type guy I should look for?
Rah-rah cheerleader. Yeah. Nolan. Nolan, yeah. Everybody, if you know Nolan, you know he can talk. He gonna talk a lot.
Okay.
And not even if it's just coaching guys up, if it's just getting everybody with the right mindset, encouraging guys, and he gonna be the one that talk. I feel like that's the biggest one, Nolan.
All right, I'll follow him. Thanks. Good luck.
Okay, Nakobe, that's all the time for today. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
And we will continue the call with Alabama momentarily. Okay, we are ready to continue the call with Alabama, and first will be Bryce Young. To ask a question, press star one, or excuse me, press 10 on your telephone keypad. Press 10 on your telephone keypad. Bryce, while we wait on questions, please give us your general thoughts on the upcoming game against Georgia.
Yeah, very excited to have this opportunity. Blessed to be in this opportunity to compete for SEC championship and to play against a really good Georgia team.
Okay, first question is from Nick Kelly of the Tuscaloosa News.
Hey, Bryce. Obviously, this Georgia team has a really strong defensive front. Outside of the O-line, just winning one-on-one battles, what can you guys do to kind of counter some of the things that they do well defensively up front?
Yeah, that's stuff that's gonna kind of go into the game plan and get installed. Those stuff that OB and Coach Marone are gonna look at. But I have all the trust in the world in my offensive line, and that's probably a better question for them. But I know schematically, we're gonna do whatever is best for the team.
Next question is from John Zener of the Associated Press.
Yeah, Bryce, have you seen a defense that looked anywhere near this good on film, and just how confident as an offense are you that if you execute properly, you can produce on anybody?
Yeah, on film they're very good, very well coached, have very good players that play with really good discipline, play with very good athleticism, intensity, top to bottom at all levels. So, individually as a team, we're excited for the challenge, and I have confidence in my guys. We're all understand what it's going to take. We all know, offensively how good they are on defense. So we all know what it's going to take for us during the week in preparation, and what it's going to take from us on Saturday. So we're all excited for the challenge.
Next question is from Stuart Still of the Red and Black.
Hey, Bryce, I just wanted to ask for your thoughts on Jordan Davis as a player, and he's gotten a little bit of pop in the Heisman discussion, and you have as well, and just how you feel about him as a player.
Yeah, it's a really, really good player. He's definitely made a big impact on a lot of games. I mean, and it shows on film. He's a really good player, and overall, it's a really, really good unit. We understand that. We all see, we see what's on film. So for us, it's about, having the best week of preparation possible, and us understanding the challenge ahead of us. So it's on us to prepare, to push ourselves, and work to be the best us we can be for Saturday. So we're all excited for the challenge.
Next question is from Connor Riley of Dog Nation.
Wondering what your relationship is like with JT Daniels and how much, if at all, you have talked to him recently. Obviously, you guys both coming from Mater Dei and out playing at SEC schools.
Yeah, I've known JT for a while. We've known their family for a while. That's someone that I'm close with, and wish nothing but the best for. But in a week like this, it's especially for what the game is, and for what everything means. I'm on Alabama, and he's on Georgia. So for us, it's not a huge amount of communication going on during the week, because obviously we're both focused on our teams, and we're both focused on our individual stuff. But yes, I definitely know JT. But as far as this week goes, it's I'm just locked in on us as a unit, us as a team, and then us preparing throughout the week to go out and play on Saturday.
Next question is from Mark Weiser of the Athens Banner-Herald.
Bryce, I wanted to ask you about your impressions of Georgia's secondary on film in terms of characteristics you see, and following up on that, kind of what does Jameson Williams bring into your offense?
Yeah, Georgia's secondary again, another area that pops on defense when you watch the film. They've made a lot of plays. They've done a really good job on the back end. With corner safeties, everyone, it's a really good unit. So we understand that, we see that on film, and we know what it is going to the game, so we have to do all we can to prepare on our end, for a game like that. And then Jameson brings a lot obviously on the field, and everyone sees a lot that he can bring on Saturday. But what a lot of people don't see is the energy and the consistent energy he brings during practice, consistent energy he brings throughout the week, and his willingness to work, and that energy that he brings. So obviously there's a lot of impact that he makes that everyone can see, but there's a lot of stuff that he also does behind the scenes that is really beneficial for us offensively and as a team. So it's I'm definitely happy for that. That he's a part of our unit.
Taking questions for Bryce Young. Next question is from Mike Rodak of AL.com.
Yeah, Bryce, I know during the bye week sometimes you look forward to future opponents. Did you have a chance to practice against any Georgia scout already, and just knowing that for a while they would be your opponent if you made it to this game?
Yeah, there wasn't any looking forward for us. We played a tough SEC schedule, and it was a big rivalry game last week. So it wasn't. We were all in on the game last week, and then we have to flip the page from Saturday, and now it's a completely different team, completely different. It's different for us on what we're learning about, what we're practicing. So it's a whole new weekend. We understand we're playing a really good team in a game that obviously is really big. So this week it's all about how we prepare and how we get ourselves ready.
That's a question for Bryce Young. Press 10. Next question is from Ryan Curley of Dog Post.
Yeah, Bryce. Georgia's defense is just full of athletes that are really fast. I mean, what's different about your preparation against a team with that many stars?
Yeah, it's a very, very good defense from top to bottom. So we have to prepare. We know it has to be a great week of preparation, and for us, it's just about executing the plan that Coach OB and the entire staff puts in. Us offensively, defensively, it's just about executing that. So, the preparation, obviously is going to change week by week, and really what dictates that is just the game plan we have in. Offensively for us, it's what Coach OB has for the game plan. So, we're obviously gonna, we're gonna have, we're gonna make sure that we have emphasis and know what this game means. And again, it's against a really good team, so it's on us to have a great week of preparation.
Our last question for Bryce Young will be from Olivia Decker of Westwood One.
Hey, Bryce, you all played in such an emotional 4 overtime, come from behind game on Saturday, whereas Georgia had a shutout against Georgia Tech and got to rest their starters. How much of a difference maker is that for you all to bounce back?
Yeah, I think really for us and, for everyone, we're never really focused on the past or anything that happens in past weeks, because we know that's not going to carry over or mean anything for the next week. So for us, it's about, taking stuff from last week and, seeing what we have to improve on and get better at, and then flipping the page. And anything that's happened in the past isn't going to, help us rate us in the future. It's all about, it's a new week. We have to turn the page and make sure that we're prepared for Saturday. So for us, it's not really looking at, comparing or looking at what have happened in past weeks or having this week. It's a new chapter. It's a new, it's a new book for us. So we have to make sure that we're ready this week, and really that's all we're concerned with.
And one more quick one: why should you win the Heisman, and what do you have to do in this game to seal that?
For me, any individual accolades or anything like that is all kind of external factors, stuff I don't have control over. And all I'm concerned about, and all we're concerned about as a team, is this Saturday and the SEC championship. So that's all that's on my mind.
All right, thank you, Bryce. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, Bryce, thank you for your time today.
Appreciate it.
We will continue with Alabama's Will Anderson. To ask a question, press 10 on your telephone keypad. And Will, while we wait on questions, please give us your general thoughts on the upcoming game against Georgia.
You know, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a challenge. You know, this is why you come to Alabama. You come to Alabama to play in games like this, and we just want to prepare the right way, and we're very excited.
Okay, first question is from Nick Kelly of the Tuscaloosa News.
Hey, Will, you guys obviously have faced some adversity the past few games, but it's not the first time this season you faced some in, in A&M and Florida. How have you seen the growth from this team when it comes to close games over the course of the season?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, just as far as adversity, you guys have had some recently, but you've also had it earlier in the season as well. Games like Texas A&M, Florida. How have you seen your team grow in terms of how it handles these tight games and overall adversity?
We think we just turn it all into positivity. We don't want anybody around here, moping around and, thinking about what happened in the past. We always just like to move on and, pick the energy up. And I think the energy has been much better in the locker room and on the field and in the facility and meeting rooms. And, we're enjoying ball and we're having fun doing it. And I think that's one of the biggest things. I think at first it was a lot of, anxiety, a lot of, just worry, instead of just going out there and having fun and playing football. So I kind of think that's where the table turned a little bit.
Next question is from Michael Casagrande of AL.com.
Yeah, well, growing up in the state of Georgia, were you a Georgia Bulldogs fan, and how closely did you consider them in the recruiting process?
Yeah, I did grow up a Georgia fan. I got recruited by them a little bit. I didn't get too much attention from them, but, it all worked out well. I'm here at Alabama, and I love it here. It's been great so far.
Thank you.
Next question is from Ryan Curley of Dog Post.
Hey, Will, I don't know how much you've studied the tape of Stetson Bennett yet, but just talk about how dynamic he is. And he's a little bit faster than you'd think once you see him going downfield. Talk about defending him.
Oh, yeah, he's very fast. He can move. He has great feet. He can escape the pocket really well. He can move sideline to sideline. So I think the biggest thing right now is we just have to keep him contained in the pocket. We can't let him run all over the field and make long drops with his feet. So I think that's like watching film. I think that's one of the biggest things that we're looking for.
Next question is from John Zener of the Associated Press.
Hey, Will, I had two quick ones. One, have you seen Jordan Davis play on TV or anything, or heard much about him?
Yes, I have. He's a great player. He's big. I think he's like the unit of their defense, honestly. Like, he's pretty hard to move around, just watching him. I feel like he's a really great athlete for that size, and he's a really good player.
And two, is it kind of cool to see two defensive players going in this game getting this much? I know you probably don't care about the attention, but the respect that every opponents have for you and for Jordan.
I think it's cool, especially nowadays. A lot of defensive guys, you don't get as much, attention. But I think it's good. It's cool. But I think it's a mutual respect, and I think it's cool.
Thank
you. Next question is from David Pascal of the Chattanooga Times Free Press.
Hey, Will. Kirby Smart said about an hour ago that he didn't know if it was Jamari Sawyer or Broderick Jones that was going to be at left tackle this week. Sawyer's been hurt for a little bit. How much do you kind of study when you could face two different people? How much do you try to study their tendencies and how they may be different from one another when you face the potential of two tackles?
You always want to go into the game prepared, so you always want to watch both opponents. You never know who's playing, so it's always good to prepare. So watching both of them this week will be great because you never know who's going to play. So it's just the preparation that goes into the week, and I think a smart move to do will be to watch both of them.
And then has there been one game this year that may have been tougher for you than the rest? I mean, you seem to post really good numbers each week and create a lot of havoc, but I was just curious, your toughest game this season for you personally and what made it that way?
All the games have been tough, honestly. I don't think it's a single game that was just like, you're going to get everybody's best. That's what happens when you come to Alabama. You're going to get everybody's best. So no game has been easier than the other. No game has been this way or that way. You're going to get everybody's best every game. So all the games have been tough this season. So
Next question is from Tony Sikalis of BamaInsider.com.
Yeah, Will, you talked a little bit about looking at both left tackles. Just given the nature of this game and in Georgia's quarterback situation, have you guys looked a little bit at JT Daniels as well? Is that something you guys are going to kind of study his game just in case?
Of course, like I said, preparation is everything. We're going to watch everything. You never know what can happen in the game, what scenarios can happen if he gets in. So you want to be prepared for everything. And, whoever the quarterback is, you have to be prepared. We have to watch both quarterbacks just like we have to watch both tackles.
Next question is from Glenn Gilbo of Outkick.
Hey, Will. Georgia is a touchdown favorite in this game. That doesn't happen a lot. I'm sure you've probably never been an underdog since you've been in Alabama. What does it feel like when people, especially people outside Alabama, think you might lose the game?
I mean, we control only what we control. We try to not worry about external factors, what other people have to think about us, because the only thing we have to think about is what's going on in the locker room and how we can go out there and how we can dominate, and we can be the team that's fast, physical, and, dominate. And we all be on the same page and execute the game plan that our coaches give to us. So I think that's the only thing that we're worried about in this facility, and I think that's what we're going to be worried about when we head into the game.
And also, Coach Saban said he told y'all after the Iron Bowl that you need to remember this game, the way y'all, particularly the way you won the game. Has he said that after a game that you remember before that?
Of course, he says that all the time because, we never want to take winning for granted around here. So, when he says that, we kind of look at it in a positive, like, what we did to win, but we all went out there, we fought hard, we fought to the end, and, when overtime came over and, we had to go out there and handle business, I think we accepted the challenge and we went out there and we played as a team, and every unit stepped up and we did what we needed to do.
Thank you.
Next question is from Connor Riley of Dog Nation.
Given the success Alabama's had against Georgia in the past, does that have any sort of carryover or give you guys any sort of extra confidence going into this game?
I wasn't even here for that. And for me, honestly, that's in the past. That was last year. That was some years ago. It's 2021 right now, and that's the only thing we can focus on is the 2021 game and how this game can go.
Next question is from Charlie Potter of 24/7 Sports.
Yeah, hey, Will. Going back to your days as a recruit, what was it that stood out about Alabama and the reasons you picked them?
What stood out to Alabama is the group of men that's here and in the facility. In high school, I always told myself I wanted to surround myself by people that have the same mentality as me, same expectations, same standard. And when you come to a place like Alabama, everybody in the locker room has that same expectation for themselves, the same mentality, and the competitiveness here. To be at Alabama, you have to be a very good competitor, and you have to be able to compete every day, even when you don't feel like competing. And I think it's a mindset. So most definitely, it's a different type of mindset when you come here to Alabama. And I think that's the biggest thing for me when I was getting recruited. That's why I wanted to come here, because of the mindset and because of the men that was going to be here to help me along the way and help me get to where I want to be at.
As a quick follow-up, I know you treat every game the same, but are you excited at least to be going back to your home state, playing a team you grew up rooting for the SEC championship game?
Yeah, it's always exciting to go back home. My family get to come see because, of course, I'm from Georgia, so it's always good to go back home. So that's exciting about that.
Okay, thank you for your time, Will.
Thank you.
And we will continue the call with Alabama's Henry Toe. To ask a question, press 10 on your telephone keypad. And Henry, while we wait on questions, please give us your general thoughts on the upcoming game against Georgia.
Really excited to be able to be, in the position to be in the SEC championship. Huge goal for our team. Excited to play the number one team in the country. It's going to be a huge challenge for us, and we're looking forward to it.
Okay, first question is from AP Stedham of WHEP.
What are the unique characteristics about the Georgia running backs when they run the football and catching the passes out of the backfield?
They got a lot of them. They got depth at the running back position. They can do everything.
either out the backfield or, running the rock. They do a great job of going downhill, making space, trying to make you miss in the open field and breaking tackles. So it's going to be a huge task for us as a defense to be able to get them on the ground, and we're looking forward to it.
Next question is from Olivia Decker of Westwood One.
I was just wondering if there was a moment that stood out to you in the Auburn game, something that a coach said, maybe a teammate said, where things really started to change to give you guys a chance.
It was definitely a team as a whole, going into halftime. We just had the mentality of, having each other's back. Coach Saban told us to have fun. So that kind of just, let a relief off of everybody. And just clear everybody's mindset to be able to go out there and, have fun. It's a game, and, we can't have the anxiety because that makes us play slower. So, obviously having Coach, let us loose and telling us to have fun was huge.
Okay, I've got to ask because Will used some of those same words just throughout the season that you all got rid of anxiety, tables turned when you started having fun. For us in the media, we don't necessarily think of Nick Saban as life of the party, barrel of laughs. So what does it look like when the Crimson Tide is having fun in the middle of the season?
It's just a different vibe. Obviously we're still going to work hard. We're still going to do our job. We're going to be mentally sound in what we have to do, but celebrating with each other, being around each other, smiling, not really stressing about what happened last play, but focusing on the next play, and just playing the next play. That's kind of the mentality that we have, and obviously, stacking those ends up everybody having fun and, getting the result that we want.
Thank you. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Next question is from Mark Weiser of the Athens Banner-Herald.
Henry, given that you guys had a loss against Texas A&M earlier in the season, what was the desperation level there in the final minutes of the Auburn game, and then going and trying to pull it out in overtime, knowing that the playoffs were maybe on the line?
We weren't really thinking about the playoffs. It was just beating Auburn. It was a huge rivalry game, the Iron Bowl, huge for the state. So we don't really look forward. We just play the game that we're in, worry about our assignment that we're focused on and the moment that we're in.
And I want to ask you, George Pickens came back last week for Georgia. When you look at their offense and knowing what he brought in the past, what do you think that means for them to have another guy like him on the outside?
Definitely a huge piece of the offense. He's been a great player for them. Obviously I wish the best for him with his injury, but that's going to be a huge piece for them, and he's a great player.
Thank you.
Taking questions for Henry Toe. Next question is from Mike Rodak of AL.com.
Henry, when you made the decision to transfer to Alabama, just how big of a factor was it to potentially play in a game on this sort of stage?
Obviously, when you come to Alabama, you're going to be able to compete for championships. But for me, it was more, being developed, being around guys that have the same common goal as me, striving for excellence every single day. So that was what I was looking forward to when I came here to Alabama was, being around a group of guys that, want to be the best, that want to compete for those championships and have the same mindset of excellence.
Next question is from John Zener of the Associated Press.
Hey Henry, when you're watching film and do you ever kind of just shake your head at watching how much offense is focused on Will Anderson and the fact that he still makes so many plays in spite of that?
Definitely. You've got to focus on Will. Will's a monster, and he's going to get back and cause havoc every single play, no matter how many guys are blocking him. That's just the nature of Will, and the dedication and hard work that he's put in throughout the season and his entire life.
Thank you.
Next question is from Katie Wyndham of Bama Central.
Hey Henry, do you feel like the Iron Bowl was the best performance for the defense so far this year? Do you feel like y'all are kind of playing the best at this time of the year?
I definitely think we probably played our best game on defense. We've seen spurts of it throughout the season. We would put a quarter together, a half together. but we still didn't play a full 60 minutes, and I think, we were able to do that last game. But, moving on forward, I think it's just important that we carry that on practice, how we practiced last week, and just carry it on from here on out to this game.
Thank you.
Next question is from Glenn Gilbo of Outkick.
Hey, Henry, what does it feel like going into this game as an underdog? Georgia's favored by a touchdown. That doesn't happen a lot at Alabama. What does that seem like to you?
Oh, I mean, you go in, it's a football game, and, we're there to play a full 60 minutes and however much longer that we need to, if it's necessary. We don't really look at that. We're here to play a full 60-minute game.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Next question is from David Pascal of the Chattanooga Times Free Press.
Hey, Henry, another question about your decision to transfer. I mean, when you go back to your decision, I'm sure you kind of had to envision what it could be like. I mean, how has it been? Has it been everything you thought it would be? And has there been anything maybe different than what you might have expected on the front end?
No, it's definitely been everything that I expected. It's honestly been a blessing to be here, being around the best of the best, the best players, best coaches. There's honestly no more than I could ask of coming here and being in the position that I am right now, surrounded by these guys and, the coaches. So, I loved it ever since I got here, and, it's been an honor and a blessing to be able to wear the A.
And I talked to you early in the season on Zoom, and you said that you were still keeping in touch with a lot of your former Tennessee teammates. They wound up having a better year than a lot of folks expected, given all the people that left through the portal. How much did you follow them, and were you surprised that they had the season they had?
Definitely proud of the guys. Wasn't really watching them this year. Was kind of focused on what we had to do. But when I had a chance to be able to sit back and whenever we had an early game, see them play, proud of their performance, and, I'm just happy for them.
Thank you.
Okay, Henry, that's all the questions for today. Thank you.
Appreciate it.